We're asked to find an angle between 0 and 2 pi radians that is coterminal with the given angle. Number 1, we have 11 pi divided by 2 radians. Number 2, we have 78 pi divided by 9 radians. To determine coterminal angles to a given angle in radians, we add or subtract multiples of 2 pi radians to the given angle, which means all the coterminal angles for 11 pi divided by 2 can be expressed as 11 pi divided by 2 plus 2 pi k, where k is some integer. Again, this expression shows the coterminal angles are found by adding or subtracting multiples of 2 pi to 11 pi divided by 2 radians. Again, where k is some integer. If k is positive, we add multiples of 2 pi. If k is negative, we subtract multiples of 2 pi. Now we need to determine the value of k so that the coterminal angle is between 0 and 2 pi radians. Well, first, 2 pi radians is the same as 2 pi divided by 1 radians, and because our denominator is 2, we can multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, and 2 pi is equal to 4 pi divided by 2. This will help us determine when we find a value of k that gives us a coterminal angle between 0 and 2 pi radians. For example, when k is equal to negative 1, we have 11 pi divided by 2 plus 2 pi times negative 1, which is equal to 11 pi divided by 2 minus 2 pi over 1. And we know 2 pi over 1 is equal to 4 pi divided by 2, which gives us a denominator of 2, and the numerator is now 11 pi minus 4 pi, which is 7 pi. Well, 7 pi divided by 2 is a coterminal angle, but it's not between 0 and 2 pi radians, or 0 and 4 pi divided by 2 radians. Let's try k equals negative 2. When k is equal to negative 2, we have 11 pi divided by 2 plus 2 pi times negative 2, which is equal to 11 pi divided by 2 minus 4 pi over 1. 4 pi over 1 is equal to 8 pi over 2. We have a common denominator of 2, and the numerator is now 11 pi minus 8 pi, which is 3 pi. And 3 pi divided by 2 is between 0 and 2 pi radians, or 0 and 4 pi divided by 2 radians. This is the coterminal angle we are looking for between 0 and 2 pi radians. Now, number 2 is a little more challenging because we have a much larger angle. We have 78 pi divided by 9 radians. But all the coterminal angles can be found by evaluating the expression 78 pi divided by 9 plus 2 pi k, where k is some integer. With this example, though, let's use the help of Desmos to determine the value of k that will give us the coterminal angle between 0 and 2 pi radians. So first in cell 1, if we enter 2 pi, this will remind us we're looking for an angle between 0 and approximately 6.28 radians. And then in cell 2, we'll enter the expression 78 pi divided by 9, right arrow, plus 2 pi times k. Next, we create a slider for k. We know k has to be negative in order to determine a coterminal angle between 0 and 2 pi radians. Let's click in cell 3. Let's change the interval for k from, let's say, negative 20 to 0. The step has to be 1 because k is an integer. And now we click outside cell 3, close the keyboard, and now what we're going to do is determine the value of k that will give us a coterminal angle between 0 and approximately 6.28 radians. Notice when k is equal to 0, we have the decimal approximation for the given angle of 78 pi divided by 9. And I'm moving the slider to the left. Again, we're looking for an angle between 0 and approximately 6.28 radians. And we found the angle when k is equal to negative 4. So this is a decimal approximation of the coterminal angle, but we want the exact coterminal angle. So now we'll perform the calculation when k is equal to negative 4. So when k is equal to negative 4, we have 78 pi divided by 9 plus 2 pi times negative 4, which is equal to 78 pi divided by 9 minus 8 pi over 1. The common denominator is 9, And the numerator is 78 pi minus 72 pi, which is 6 pi. Well, 6 pi divided by 9 does simplify. There's a common factor of 3 between 6 and 9. This gives us a coterminal angle of 2 pi divided by 3. 2 pi divided by 3 is the coterminal angle to 78 pi divided by 9 that is between 0 and 2 pi radians. And if we go back to the calculator one last time, we can check this. If we enter 2 pi divided by 3 in cell 4, notice how we do get the same decimal that we have above for the coterminal angle between 0 and approximately 2.68 radians. I hope you found this helpful.